Beard. From the Fans Talk Podcast family at fanstalkpodcast.com, this is episode 272 of Fans Talk Pro Wrestling. And tonight, we are talking about the health downturn of the WWE, a little bit on TNA, and maybe a little bit more. With me tonight, I am Joe. With me tonight is Nick. Say hello, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
All right. Thank you for downloading or streaming the show, patreon.com/fanstalk. And you can pledge a few dollars our way. It's the most direct way. You can tell us that you appreciate the conversation we have here each and every week. We try to get it to you the best way we can, the most entertainment value we can. We really do try, so we appreciate any support you want to give us. That being said, Nick, did you watch Raw last night?
I did indeed.
Excellent. The big story coming out of Monday Night Raw was Lesnar and Rollins, the build for their match at Battleground. And how are you feeling on the build so far?
Much better than I already was. I thought it was going to be entertaining from the get-go, but last night, that was the first time I can really remember really enjoying both the opening and the closing segments of Raw. Heyman was absolutely on point. One of the better promos he's delivered in the last few years. And yeah, I wasn't really expecting Lesnar to be brought down the way he was, albeit it was a numbers game, but we haven't seen that since he's been back. So, yeah, that was vastly entertaining.
Somewhere on the internet, I saw that someone had said, and I don't know if it was through our group or another wrestling group, that the Authority got more offense in on Lesnar than Cena did when Cena first fought Lesnar. Mm-hmm. Which I found interesting. The fact that Lesnar took a chokeslam was impressive to me.
He took 2 chokeslams. Kane actually looked kind of good.
Kind of good. I mean, Kane is always consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I obviously enjoyed the opening segment. Paul Heyman is a god. The way Lesnar was apologizing to all the announcers and, like, rubbing Cole's head was hilarious. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? I love him. I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna squeeze him, and I'm gonna name him George. That's kind of the vibe I got from it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just playing with you, little buddy. You know, but yeah, I like that, and the Authority kind of turning their back on Rollins until Kane stepped in when Lesnar came out. I like that. I think it was a good bait and switch, making everyone think Rollins was going to be on his own, and the fact that Lesnar now was taken down and left laying in the ring. I mean, that's a big statement against a big statement for the Authority in their fight against Lesnar at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Completely unprecedented.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. I mean, obviously the only thing left for Brock to do is just wreck everyone.
Yeah, I have seen the suggestion posed that Lesnar should, or that they should incorporate the actual injury Jamie suffered, and just turn that into an angle where he eliminates an Authority member every week, going up to Battleground.
Okay, that could be cool. That could be one way to work it. I can see him going both ways on it, though. I mean, yeah. How many more weeks do we have? Let's look.
That's 4, I believe. Which would be a problem because they don't have enough guys for that, unless Triple H wanted to get involved, which I don't really see happening.
And before they brought back Lesnar, I thought maybe that might be an inkling of what could be happening. Was that, oh yeah, you think you're the best? All right, time to play the game, bitch. I mean, they've always got that in their back pocket. So,
yeah, I expect if Triple H does get back in the ring for any reason, it would be against Rollins. Either kind of a passing of the torch, mentor to student kind of thing, or if Rollins does turn face, then Triple H wants to quash that.
Right. Yeah, it could be an option too. But overall, I'm liking the build so far. But with 4 weeks left to go, how many Lesnar appearances are we going to burn to do this? You know, we always know that's a difficult thing, is to gauge the Lesnar.
Yeah, you're right.
But if they say they put him down for a week and then he comes back, you know, that could be something. Or do they work something out where they only can show his arm and you'll see, like, Mercury walking by and all of a sudden a hand will come out and it's Lesnar's arm grabbing him by the neck and just ripping him down. You don't actually see Lesnar, so you can't be assured it's Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to go with it. I did see this really weird suggestion that since Jamie's going to be out for the foreseeable future and J&J Security is down a J, that maybe they should bring in Jimmy Jacobs since he's with the company now. And, like, they're about the same general size, and then there's also, like, the indie smart factor to it, because you'd have Jimmy Jacobs, Seth Rollins, and Joey Mercury all together, like 3 out of the 4 guys from the Age of the Fall. So, there'd be that to it as well.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. I'm just trying to think of who else they could fit in that role. You could always bring up Jack Ryder. Or Jack Jiter, I'm sorry.
Or Road Dogg Jesse James.
Oh, I forgot about him. And rightfully so. Yeah, made his great contribution to wrestling, not going to deny that, but I don't want to keep seeing the older guys come back. Jamie Noble to me is a different thing because his career was cut short by a neck injury. So that's the first thing I thought had happened, was he re-aggravated the neck when taking the spear. Those of you who did not see Raw, and why didn't you? Well, because the middle chunk of it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But Brock Lesnar ended up spearing Jamie Noble through a barricade, and he broke 3 ribs. So yeah, that's why he's out. He said, he's gone on Twitter and said good things about it, and that he's getting great medical attention. So, I mean, he seems to be okay and okay with what happened. It just happens to be a casualty of the business. But, he's still got 3 broken ribs. But speaking of injuries like broken ribs, Tyson Kidd is out to have neck surgery. He's expected a year or more recovery. It's the same surgery that Austin and Edge had both had. Man.
Yeah.
That really blows.
Yeah, I hadn't heard before that it was that same surgery. Up till now, everybody's been pretty optimistic about it. They have been talking about he will be back. Like, kind of like Daniel Bryan said, he will be back once he's done rehabbing and such. But, yeah, just the fact that it's that same surgery. Yeah, Tyson might not have built up to the point that, like, Edge did, but yeah, I don't know. There's still that specter hanging over it all, I guess.
Yeah, you just don't want to see someone get a major surgery like that and be out for a year. I mean, that could kill a career.
Yeah, and this isn't Tyson's first long-term injury either. Like, it took him a while to get any sort of relevance back, and now, just when he and Cesaro were really hitting their stride, this happens. Yeah,
which is probably why we saw on SmackDown Kevin Owens and Cesaro. That was SmackDown, right? Yeah.
Yeah, which was a magnificent match, by the way.
Yes, I agree. Phenomenal match. If you Miss SmackDown. Find a way to check out SmackDown last week because it was that for that match only. I mean, it's worth a look. And hopefully in like 6 to 8 months it'll be on the network. So write down the date and check it out. Yep. In other news in bad health and injury stuff, so soon after losing the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, we lost the Nature Boy Buddy Landell. He passed away. I, for one, haven't seen much of his work, but I'm definitely going to look it up maybe this weekend when I've got some free time, because I know he made major contributions to the biz. I am not one who's watched a lot of the old school stuff.
Yeah, same here. At first, like, the only Nature Boys I was aware of before now was obviously Ric Flair and Buddy Rogers. And I assumed that had been, like...
Oh, did I just screw that up?
No. Like, it was Buddy Landell that passed, but, like, the first time I saw the news, I thought it was Buddy Rogers. Like, maybe Landell was his real non-gimmick name, but, yeah, completely different dude. Somebody else with the Nature Boy moniker is right. Just... I had never heard of the guy.
Yeah, died in a car accident, according to the outlets.
Yeah.
And though I didn't screw that up, it is the Nature Boy Buddy Landell. It's a shame that we lose any wrestler. It's such a great business that we've been enjoying. I mean, we've been talking about it for over 5 years, loving it beforehand. So, it's just a shame that somebody who's contributed to the biz is now no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, as we are recording this, it is the premiere of Tough Enough. Nick, are you planning on watching?
Yeah, at some point, yeah. I really want to see how they do this version of the show. I could care less about Jericho hosting because I'm kind of sick of him, to be honest. He's freaking everywhere. But having Daniel Bryan and Paige as judges, I think that's a great move, especially with Daniel Bryan, keeping him relevant to us while he can't wrestle. And yeah, it's nice to see somebody as young and yet somebody as accomplished as Paige get some recognition like that, judging alongside Hulk Hogan. So, yeah, I'm absolutely interested in seeing how this goes, at least for the first couple shows. And, yeah, hopefully it's good enough. Tough Enough is good enough, and I will want to watch it enough.
Yeah. See, I like the previous versions of Tough Enough. I enjoyed the last season. My big problem with Tough Enough in the last season was that, like, it came down to them, the two guys putting on a match, and we didn't see that match. We got build up, we got minute snippets of it, but we didn't get the match. You should have shown the match.
Yeah, that's weird.
I didn't actually realize that this was on the USA Network. I thought it was going to be on the WWE Network. So I had to make sure I also was recording. That's a very good question. Is it actually? Yes, it is. Okay, it is actually recording. I am going to get to see it. Who knows what it will do with that knowledge, but yeah, like, I do like some of the reality shows like this, like Tough Enough, and God forbid I actually say this, Revenge of the Nerds. That was on TBS.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I'm a nerd. I'm not going to... I mean, it is what it is. It's fun to me. Now, things like Survivor or The Amazing Race and all that crap, I don't care for those shows.
No.
Because that's just about people arguing. Like, I like the trivia aspect of the 1, 2, this is more athletic. And actually, mic work, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm interested in because obviously I'm watching WWE and TNA. I'm a fan of professional wrestling, and it's getting an insight on how some training goes. Not that I will ever train in a ring in my life, but it's kind of neat to know about it.
Yeah, it's nice to get sort of a behind-the-scenes look, as much as that possibly can be.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. Did you watch the pre-show event that they did last week?
No, I didn't.
That was kind of neat, but because they had 40 people and they narrowed it down to the 13.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine and good, but I could have sworn that one of the guys they sent home, but he's in the roster for the top 13. So maybe I missed something.
Yeah, I'm pissed that the Big O didn't make it. I haven't seen much of his indie work, but I did see like his gut check stuff when TNA was doing that, and He looked impressive as hell. So, yeah, I don't know why they cut him. It's just a shame. Me and Zack Ryder are united on that opinion.
Yeah, that is a shizame. Woo woo woo. You may know it. But I am excited to see what they're going to do with it. Hopefully they'll do something fun with it. That's the intent, right? USA wouldn't be behind it if that weren't the case.
Mm.
So, moving on. Sean Rock from the Facebook group, and you can ask us questions in the Facebook group, Google Plus, Twitter, smoke signals, email questions. Yeah. Questions at fanstalkpodcast.com. You can hit us up there. We want to know your questions, what you want to hear us talk about. And Sean Rock from the Facebook group asked, is there any point to putting Wyatt versus Reigns as a feud? Wyatt is continuously losing them, save for Jericho. Not sure if I've been watching too long and things are just predictable, or if WWE has no clue what to do with their talent. How do you feel about this feud, Nick? And is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
I think Sean has got a little bit of both going on. I'm not sure how long you've been watching Sean, but yeah, at a certain point, it does start to get kind of predictable, especially since Wyatt has been losing a lot of those big feuds. But yeah, there's also, I don't think Wyatt and Reigns are being misused in this feud. Like, there's definitely some of that going on elsewhere in the roster, like Lana and Ziggler. That absolutely shouldn't be happening right now, and Summer Rae getting roped into that is a huge fucking disaster. Just let her wrestle. But Wyatt and Reigns, that's different enough for both of them that I like it. Guess where Wyatt's been the last few months, no discernible reason why he's going after anybody. It's just, if you do get an explanation at all, it's just a vague, they were in my way. And even then, most of the time, it's just Cole regurgitating it from whatever interview he had with them on whatever network deal. But now we have something concrete to go on. It's Wyatt thinks Reigns screwed him out of that spot in the ladder match, the Money in the Bank match. And sure, Wyatt was only facing Reigns because the Authority wanted to screw Reigns out of that spot, but obviously, Wyatt's nuts. He's out there. He lives in his own world. So, the fact that he has a reason to go after Reigns, I like it. And this is completely different from anything Reigns has ever done. It's better than going up against a giant and seeing if you can knock him down, if you can punch him in the mouth. It's different from the obligatory Orton feud that every up-and-comer seems to have and get locked into for months on end. It's, like I said, it's different from what those two have been doing, so I dig it.
Yeah, I think it's different. It's definitely, like we said, I believe last week, that it was kind of shades of CM Punk when he had the Straight Edge Society and going after Mysterio with the child involvement and the singing. But we already know that Bray Wyatt is a top-tier vocalist. How many copies of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands did he sell? I mean, that's been on his greatest hits album for years.
He's going for a deal with that company that does the Now That's What I Call Music stuff, for sure.
Oh, yeah. The pop stuff, yeah. It's right next to Jock Jams. But I do like this. I like the fact that, you look at Reigns, and Reigns comes in, he's a big dude. And he looks like he's going to outpower everybody. You know, he's got the muscle, and obviously that's his strength. But he doesn't exactly know how to contend with the mind of Bray Wyatt. And I think that's why this is going to really work. Because Wyatt's not afraid of a man of any size. He's just that fucked up. And I really, really like that. Will Wyatt go, win this feud? Probably not. Why? He's a heel. Reigns is the face. We still have to refer back to the formula that the face should win in the end. It's not very often that the heel wins and the feud is done. At least not when they've got guys that are built like this.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think it's going to be fun TV. It's going to be as interesting as listening to Paul Heyman. So, that's a good thing. It's a very good thing for me. I'm very excited to see what goes on.
Yeah, just the fact that these two have a reason to be fighting each other, it puts it far and away above most of what the WWE is doing right now.
Yeah, and this can get twisted, and it becomes must-see TV. It doesn't even have to have matches. It just has to have... Well, yeah, I guess it has to have matches, like you put Reigns in a match, and then Wyatt screws with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all that needs to happen. And we can go for a couple months on this.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Sean, hopefully that gives some insight to our thoughts on it. Maybe you have been watching too long and it's predictable, but that's kind of the formula. Face usually wins out in the end. Unless it's Swagger versus Rusev, and then Rusev wins. But, that's Jack Swagger attempting to be a face. And that doesn't always work out.
Yeah, Swagger and Ziggler, man. I wonder if there's anybody else that's been managed by Vicky Guerrero that just went down the toilet at some point.
Well, who else did she manage? Chavo.
Yeah. Edge,
well,
I guess, but yeah,
Edge is like the outlier. He's the one who's been successful.
Yeah.
Because she never managed Eddie. Because she didn't actually start in the company until after Eddie was gone.
Yeah, that's true.
So, La Familia seems to be the curse here. Vicky Guerrero, damn. Feel sorry for her patients now that she's a nurse. Just kidding, Vicky. But can you imagine laying in bed post-surgery feeling terrible? Excuse me! I'm here to take your blood!
That would be interesting for sure. Even more interesting if you're getting married to her. Which, congratulations on your engagement, by the way. Vicky.
Yeah. Can you imagine though? She's cleaning out moving a bedpan and spills it on herself, and the screech.
Oh,
that's gonna set off all kinds of alarms in that hospital.
Yeah.
Who's she getting married to, by the way?
I don't remember. It's somebody completely unrelated to wrestling.
Thank God.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody who was married to a wrestler, but a lot of them seem to remarry wrestlers, and it's like, get out of it while you can. Appreciate the business, which she does. But damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Best wishes and best luck to you, Vicky, from Fans Talk Pro Wrestling. Other than that, we're doing our WWE Battleground preview on FTPW275. That is July 14th. That'll be a lot of fun. Only 2 matches on the card right now. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Out of the 2 matches, I'm kind of more excited for Reigns Wyatt, but it's like 9.9 and 9.8 on the scale here.
Yeah.
They're both going to be solid, should be solid matches.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, wait, we do have an IC title match booked for Battleground. The triple threat with Ryback, Big Show, and Miz.
All right.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. because that was announced like right in the middle of Raw, right when everything was just bleh. So yeah.
Yeah, so definitely one of the other two matches is my top, which sucks. Because I do like all the guys in the Intercontinental Championship match individually. Like Big Show, I would hang out with. I think that'd be awesome he seems like a great guy. Ryback is kind of middle of the road for me. Miz, I do still find very talented, although I'm not a big fan of the gimmick currently. But, I do like his work a lot. So there are different aspects of each guy that I like. I just hope it doesn't end up in Big Show tears.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of hoping that this is one of his last wrestling feuds, that he transitions into more of a speaking role. Because I enjoy every time Big Show's on commentary, because he's just so good at not necessarily responding and going back and forth with the regular commentary, but just the way he will cheer on his vested interest. I like the fact that, he'll do what regular managers do, is like yell out advice or commiserate with them on their successes and their failures as the match is going on. I think you would make a great manager.
That would actually be pretty cool. I definitely would like him in commentary. I think that would be very cool. It's just a lot of dude to sit at that table.
It is.
And really, somebody screws with Cole, you just see him get choke slammed or bitch smacked or something.
Yeah.
Get the WMD. Boom.
That would be interesting if Cole brought Big Show on as sort of like his hired muscle. Like if he ever went full on heel again, like Big Show make it a great commentary bodyguard.
It'd be even better is if someone's about to go through the Spanish announce table and the Spanish guys bring up Big Show as their bodyguard.
Just
that
to safeguard the
awesome.
table.
And that's all he's out. He adds commentary to the Spanish announce team, not knowing what the hell they're saying. And there to protect the table.
That would actually be really interesting to watch.
That would be a lot of fun. All right. So yeah, out of the three matches, I think I'm going to go with Reigns Wyatt as my top pick for most entertaining match.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there, and right along with you about the other matches. Like Reigns Wyatt and the WWE title match are really close for me as far as interest goes.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to a little bit of TNA. Since I was not a viewer of TNA this past week, how did that X Division Championship go?
Well, it's going down this week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Low Key versus Grado versus Tigre Uno, and me and Garvin have been saying it all along. Pretty sure Tigre Uno is gonna get that nod. Joe, I know you're a Low Key fan, and yeah, that wouldn't be a bad ending. Definitely a nostalgia win right there. But yeah, it's absolutely going to be pretty entertaining. I'm looking forward to seeing how Grado can hang with those two.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Grado work in the ring, as many clips as there are on the internet. So I am looking forward to actually sitting down and taking the time and checking some of that out.
Have you seen Colt Cabana work?
Only in passing.
Yeah, Grado's very reminiscent of Colt's style. Okay. He does make a few tributes to Dusty Rhodes. He'll do the like the jabs and the elbow. It's definitely very comedy centric, but yeah, a lot of Colt Cabana isms in there.
Okay. Cool. Apparently there was going to be an official ruling on Velvet Sky's status on this week's Impact. She's being added back to the roster, right?
That has to be it, I think. I can't think of why they'll bring her back if she wasn't actually going to be added back to the roster. Especially getting involved with Angelina and Madison the way she has. So, yeah, that's the only outcome that makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why they would bring somebody back not to add them. So, yeah. Joseph Park, still making appearances in TNA, got ran through by Bram in his latest battle against technology in history.
Yeah, Bram's been going on a rampage against the past, and like he's set up kind of like an open challenge sort of system. And the first match he had was against Crimson, which that was pretty good. Crimson looked great. Even Garvin admitted that Crimson looked pretty good. For those that are not familiar, Garvin pretty much wishes Crimson didn't exist. And then this week he had Joseph Park, which was weird because there was no kind of catalyst for that. Everybody knows both in kayfabe and out that Joseph Park is Abyss. And they didn't even make any effort to try and hide that. Like, his teeth were missing. He had long hair, the same look, basically. But, yeah, this is apparently going to be a continuing thing moving forward. Not necessarily a major thing, but, yeah, I'm optimistic about it. The match with Joseph Park wasn't that great, but, yeah, I think there's going to be good stuff coming from that.
Is Joseph Park or Abyss doing any work outside of TNA? Because, I mean, that could be a huge block on why it might not have been great. He might have some rust.
Yeah, he's doing indie stuff, like the House of Hardcore. He's kind of a fixture there.
All right.
Yeah, he's keeping kind of busy.
Okay. Just because I know Bram's been working consistently in TNA and haven't heard about Joey Park in a while. So, Nick, is there anybody you'd like to see come back for the storyline?
I fully expect we're going to see Shark Boy at some point, just because he's usually up there on that list of guys. Like, if you ever need somebody just for a one-off appearance, Shark Boy's usually up for it. I've been playing with the idea in my head that when Bram gets to, like, his for realsies opponent, I've been imagining that it'd be Bully Ray. Yeah, just because he has been such an influential figure in TNA's past, and things don't really seem to be going anywhere with those WWE rumors, so yeah, I could totally see Bully Ray coming back for an angle with Bram.
That actually would be pretty solid. That's a very good pick. Other people I'd like to see come back, just as cannon fodder, Amazing Red. But another opponent, Matt Morgan. I don't know what he's been. I know he retired, but the Blueprint, bring him back. I would love to see him back in the ring. I did enjoy his work. Absolutely. It just sucks that, there's so many guys that he's working with are so much smaller. I mean, that guy was just huge. So it really hindered him as far as what he could do, as athletic as he was, and probably still is. I mean, he was an American Gladiator, for God's sakes.
Yeah, he still looks pretty jacked.
I bet. So,
like, I know he's...
And see him lift Bram up for, let's say, the elevator? That'd be badass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, that is still one of my most favorite finishing moves in wrestling.
Yeah, deservedly so. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's a shame that he couldn't hit it on most people. But yeah, no, I think that would be another great one. And hell, if he were to decide to come back to the biz, that could be a serious opponent for Bram too.
Yeah, I know he's doing, I think it's marketing that he's doing now, but I think it'll be a long shot for him to ever come back, because he made it pretty clear once his son was born, like, that was his primary focus and that he just couldn't do wrestling anymore. Like, yeah. maybe when his kid gets older, maybe he'll change his mind.
Could we see Bram take on, I mean, we mentioned, guys being red shirts. What about just picking off Team Canada? One by one? I mean, there were a number of those guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who all was there. I know Rude and Eric Young were. I know Petey Williams was.
Yep. And he's another one who's retired. So
yeah. I can't remember anybody else by name.
I don't recall offhand. I didn't even have cable at the time when Team Canada was big in TNA.
Yeah.
So that I couldn't fill in, but just see him dismantle a faction from the history would be interesting.
Members of the World Elite.
There you go.
There's Davari, there's Eric Young again, but he's not really from the past. He's there now.
Kenshi or Tenshi?
I can't remember the Japanese guy's name.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of guys that could come back and fill this role.
Yeah, totally. So the match number 4 of the 5 of the
the best of 5 series.
The best of 5 series is going to be Full Metal Mayhem. Do you think it's going to go the full 5? If not, what's going to be the final match? What were the matches previous? So let's go over that.
The first 3 matches just straight up tag matches. First 2 were very above board, just who's the better team, and the Wolves won the first 2 matches, and the Dirty Heels went full on Dirty Heel to win the 3rd match. This is the first gimmick match of the series, and I don't know how great of a move it was to jump right into Full Metal Mayhem, because I do expect it to go the full 5. Because why bother turning both Aries and Rude full on heel if you're not gonna try and milk that as much as possible?
So just to clarify, Full Metal Mayhem, tables, ladders, chairs. I mean, it's a TLC match. That's just with a different name.
Yeah, TLC and then some.
So belts are hanging. There is going to be an object to grab in this match.
I don't think so. I think it's just beat the hell out of your opponent with whatever you can until you get a pin or submission.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just clarifying because then then your final match is going to have to be a ladder match if they go the full 5.
That's what Garvin was saying, but
what do you do? An Iron Man match? A tag team Iron Man match?
I was figuring either a cage match or an Ultimate X match. Because you still kind of have that same mechanic with a ladder match, but Ultimate X just seems so much more high risk with the scaffolding and going hand over hand or climbing those cables. But yeah, it's definitely really hard to top Full Metal Mayhem unless you want to go like really out there, like go back in TNA's history and dig up the Clockwork Orange match.
I don't even recall that one. I was thinking try and somehow manipulate a King of the Mountain match.
Garvin suggested that very same thing, and I don't see how you could unless you decided just for the hell of it to throw in more teams.
I was going to say, you're going to need at least a 3rd team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, yeah, so I'm thinking ladder match, or you would probably be the final match, but you're saying cage or X? Yeah, cage or X.
Yeah,
okay.
Ultimate X, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. There's not much difference between a ladder match and an Ultimate X match.
Not anymore. Not since the Hardys started doing those matches, which is still the most bullshit way to win an Ultimate X match.
Right. I mean, there are other bullshit ways, but
yeah.
I don't know. Bringing in one of those like scissor lifts that like Bad News Barrett used.
That would at least be novel.
That'd be hilarious. I still crack up thinking about how like that broke, and he just started berating the people who put it in place in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
King Barrett just doesn't work. No. Unfortunately. Moving on. Gunnar and Samuel Shaw have left TNA. My question to you, Nick, is how would you have booked them if you could have? Like, if that was going to save them in TNA, what would you have done differently?
It's hard to say with Gunnar because I think he reached the maximum potential that he could have. Because there's not much more to him than big tough guy and guy that used to serve in the military. He definitely wasn't a talker, and despite the years that he spent in the company, he didn't improve. So, other than a possible throwaway contender for the world title, I think TNA really did all they could with him. With Samuel Shaw, though, I think there are a few different avenues that you could have gone with him. Like, you could have just gone on with the aftermath of what he did with Gunnar and just keep him going in that vein, like he was doing with the explosion matches that he was in. But, yeah, just carry on with that for a little while. I also was toying with the idea of affiliating him with EC3. Because, when EC3 went full on with the number one contender angle, like, he was doing the whole presidential campaign deal. I would have liked it if you'd associated Samuel Shaw with him as sort of a fixer. Like, the quote unquote style of fixer. Like, he'd be sent in to deal with problem. Like, say, Mr. Anderson. Like, if EC3 decided, I don't want to deal with him anymore, go take care of him. And you'd have Samuel Shaw lock on that chokehold in the locker room and just, shh, go to sleep.
Would have worked out better than Tyrus.
Yeah. That's a real shame. He's finally starting to get a little bit of an upswing in usage. As he did clobber those refs, and he did basically assure EC3's victory over Lashley this past week. But, yeah, up till that point, he was just getting punked out by everybody left and right.
Yeah. See, I think I like your idea with Shaw. Something like that definitely could work. And you're right about Gunnar. Gunnar, when I could still even get TNA before they made the jump, I felt that Gunnar was just kind of spinning wheels, like there wasn't anywhere else for him to go. So, yeah, but Shaw I still think had potential. I don't know what they... Yeah, I mean, have him just pick apart everybody, like, systematically would have been cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've read that somebody said backstage that once Britney was released, that a lot of the steam went out. I don't know if they have a relationship going on or what, but, yeah, like, that angle seemed like it was going places, and then it just stopped abruptly.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know what I really could have done differently other than, having them take out guys. Outside of that, I don't know. I worry about TNA in that, you know, if you check out the Talk TNA podcast, their Facebook page, there's still a lot of discussion that's going on from David Gilbert about everything TNA. Even though their podcast is gone, they're still talking it up, still talking about everything going on, and it's just, oh man, it's just getting so dark. The view of TNA has gotten so dark. Yeah, you just really want to see him succeed, but how?
Yeah, I don't read too much into this as far as like the overall success of the company, because, like we said, they weren't really doing anything with these two, and like all the sources, like PW Insider says that they weren't released for any like bad reasons. Like, relationships are still there. It's just nothing's been done with them for a while. Nothing was planned. So just be on your merry way. Go work elsewhere on the indies, and if we got something for you, we'll give you a call.
Yeah. Man, Billy Corgan, what the hell are you doing? I thought you were head of creative now.
I wonder if this is him kind of culling
the herd here?
Yeah. Not necessarily trimming the dead wood, but kind of making room for who he's got a vision for.
Okay.
Because we have seen pictures of guys backstage like Roderick Strong and Chris Hero and guys like that.
Yeah. Guys that WWE didn't seem to want to do much with.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hero. But, you know, you can read in all that, you know, So where they said Hero didn't want to work out and they wanted him to be a little more fit or something like that. I don't exactly know.
The thing that I was reading the most was attitude, which I don't necessarily get, but I get that a lot more than like all the rumors that it was because he refused to work out. Like, just the transitions he went through from what he was like 6 months out from when he left or a year out from when he left. And then you fast forward to the weeks before his release. That dude cut weight real fast. Like, there was skin hanging off the man. Like, unhealthy levels of weight cutting.
Yeah, so be it. I mean,
yeah, he's kind of chunky now, but the man just did like a 3-hour gauntlet match for charity.
Right. And that was still under the Bill DeMott phase, so... say what you will about Bill DeMott, good, bad, whatever. It's a different time in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where everything goes. Maybe if he gets brought into TNA, it'll do some good.
Yeah, hopefully.
And he's got a little insight on the WWE inner workings there, how they do stuff. So, alrighty. You ready for Win Fail, Nick?
I believe so.
Sweet.
Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here is your win.
You do any job,
And fail
is to fucking get paid!
of the week.
Alrighty, Nick, what is your win of the week?
I gotta give it to the opening and closing segments of Raw. Again, can't sing the praises of Heyman enough. Lesnar did great. Rollins did great. The Authority did great. Everybody was great in those two segments. In between, it's kind of hit and miss. But, the opening and closing segments, absolutely phenomenal.
I don't think we really had to hear the Brie Mode song. So.
No.
My win of the week, apparently I didn't finish writing it, is WWE's ability, and that's all I have written down. So I'm trying to generate what my thought was. I don't know what my win of the week was now. Damn. Like, I even had text. Oh, God, that might end up in a Word or work document. That's going to suck.
Uh-oh.
Right in the middle. What? This and Brock Lesnar. WWE's ability, we'll say, to generate an interesting storyline such as Reigns and Wyatt. And to really twist the knife on some things. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Valid.
Nick, your fail?
I hinted at it just a minute ago, but my fail is nothing else mattered on Raw. With the exception of Wyatt and Reigns. There was a tiny little bit of advancement there. Like, there was a hint that Wyatt had Reigns' daughter. And Reigns just booked it out of that match with Sheamus. And then it's revealed that there's nobody sitting across from Wyatt. Although the chair was rocking, so it's kind of unclear whether there was somebody there or if he had just pushed it with his foot. So, like, there's even that little bit of a mind game with us. Like, we don't know what happened or who was over there, if anybody. So that was a nice touch, but everything else, like, I'm called to mind of Ziggler versus Adam Rose, and just how cringeworthy that talking segment that Adam and Rosa had prior to the match. That was Rosa Mendez committed assault against my ears. She's not usually that cringeworthy to me, but ever since she got into this angle, it's just been increasingly worse and worse and worse for both of them. And that makes me especially sad for Adam Rose because he's a good worker, and I can't say it enough times, I loved the Leo Kruger character. So I have to assume it's booking as far as he goes. With Ziggler and Lana, I don't know what the hell is going on there. If this is just going to be status quo until Rusev's foot heals. And that's another thing they need to get away from is Rusev just staring at them backstage on screen, just standing there on his crutches, and then after they kiss, he just starts pitching a tantrum. And then the final part of that I absolutely hate is now Summer Rae's involved.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd let her wrestle. I wish they'd let a lot of the divas wrestle. Natalya, Emma, Alicia Fox. But, I don't know.
They let Alicia Fox wrestle?
They've recently started, but now she's the Bella's sidekick, so I suppose we'll get matches with her being their proxy in all this, but yeah, it's just far too many of the divas that can actually work aren't being allowed to work, and I don't know, the Bellas can work now, but they're just better wrestlers there.
Right. My fail is going to be Lesnar breaking Noble's ribs. Chill, dog. You're a little too intense.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what actually went wrong, or it just happens to be a fluke, but he pounced like mofo. So, just take it down a notch, just a little bit. I understand you're Mr. Intensity, but damn.
Yeah, you gotta be a little gentler with the smaller guys sometimes.
You can't stay that hyped. Only one guy can stay that hyped.
Damn it.
That'd be Mojo Rawley. Yeah, so I think that's all we've got. Do you got any closing thoughts?
I love Xavier Woods. Like, as heterosexually as possible as you can love a man, I love that man. Just his in-ring work, on the mic, this week on Raw, in the match Kofi Kingston had with Neville. Just at one point during the match, Neville is getting the better of Kofi, and Xavier just starts yelling out, "I'm gonna call gravity on you! I'll call gravity! Chill out, man!" I just love his trash talking and the way he trumpets about Kofi Kingston is the best high flyer in the world, and how he just screams at commentary, and they shut up and let him talk, and they listen, and I love it. And Big E's no slouch either. Like, he's absolutely phenomenal too.
Yeah, if they didn't put him with New Day, I would have put him with the primetime players to take the Abraham Washington spot.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's what they're doing, because they did make the comment about giving him a megaphone. So he's kind of loud enough on his own that at least the audience close to the ring can hear him, but
yeah.
Yeah, I just love everything about those guys. Especially Kofi Kingston's clap coming down the ramp, where as he's getting midway down the ramp, he just starts doing the circle clap, where every time they clap, it's just the way he was doing it was just so glorious. I love everything about that.
Nice. Only final thought I have is everybody in the Midwest who got hit with all that rain that took place last night. Really weird, tremendous storm. Unfortunately, flooded Garvin's basement. Like a foot of water. So that's why we're not streaming live tonight. That's why Garvin's not on the show. It's really a bummer. But I guess things are getting taken care of. If you want, send an ARC to Garvin at questions at fanstalkpodcast.com. Outside of that,
airdrop some supplies.
Yeah, Operation Dumbo Drop. He's got many pets to feed. So and his spouse, who you can listen to on Fans Talk Lucha, that comes out every weekend. At least while the show's running. They're nearing the end of the first season of Lucha Underground. So be sure to check out fanstalklucha.com. Oh, it's also in our podcast feed. So you can definitely check out every episode of that. That's a lot of fun. Garvin's wife gives a great outside look into wrestling. It just makes me smile. So, because she picks out a lot of stuff that I never would. Like, if this person's not supposed to be there and they're sneaking in, why do they have a locker? Little things we always never think about. And, you know, it's kind of like the Paul Bearer being in the freezer at a different arena. That portal thing. Like, you know, we'll watch Randy Orton on WWE program go into a locker and put some stuff close. Does his locker always teleport with him, or is he actually unpacking and repacking a locker? You know, it's always interesting. So that's all I've got for my last thoughts. And with that, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out Fans Talk Pro Wrestling. Let's continue the conversation on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are. Please give us ratings and reviews wherever you can. Spread the word. We'd love for you to review us on iTunes. Hopefully you'll give us that 5-star rating. And for Nick and myself and everybody who joins us to talk about wrestling, we'll see you next Tuesday.